Hey, today is July 1st, 2025, which means we are closer to the beginning of 2026 than we are at the beginning of 2025. And I've decided to share my own fitness goals at this midpoint, July 1st, 2025. My fitness goals for the rest of the year. Now, I just want to preface these goals. They are ambitious, and that's a good thing, in my opinion. When you're young, when you're relatively young, you should do hard things. You should lift heavy, you should run far, especially when you don't want to. You should push your limits of what you think you're capable of, but if you're a really confident person and you think you can do something, then you should prove it. Not because anyone says you should prove it, but because you have an itch to chase greatness. And because if you say you're going to do something or can do something, you shouldn't just say it, you should do it. There's a big difference between saying something or saying you can do something or planning something and actually doing the thing. And it's straight fact that as you age, you won't be able to do the things that you once were able to do. So take advantage of your youth to build a stronger, faster, healthier you. So here's my fitness goals for the rest of 2025. That means I have 6 months to achieve them. I don't think that they will change. Sometimes goals can change and that's okay. And there's also different kinds of goals. There's outcome goals, there's process goals, there's stretch goals. So outcome goals are I want this specific thing to happen. You know, wrestling state champion, wrestling tournament champion. Those are outcome goals. Process goals are more related to the doing, the process, the training. So I want to do 50 double legs every day, and I'm going to do 3 strength workouts a week. Those are more process goals rather than outcome. And finally, stretch goals, in my mind, are more focused and directly related to deliberate practice, where you're specifically challenging your mind to improve at a specific task and to iterate at getting better at it. For example, when I did my swim workout today, I was really working on pulling with my forearm instead of like pulling with your elbow, and making sure I'm not pulling water into my body but pulling it to the side. Am I good at it? No. But did I get better at it today? Yes, I think so, because I was specifically focused on that small stretch goal for my 1,000 meter, which is all I did today, which is all the swim I did today, 1,000 meters, just focusing on pulling with your forearms. But anyway, there's different types of goals. Pretty much all of mine here that I'm sharing are outcome goals. And so along the way, I'll have to have process goals and stretch goals that will get me there. So first on the list is 10 muscle ups. I want to do 10 muscle ups. I've done 7. So I think this is a feasible goal. I think I can probably do it relatively soon since I've been doing 100 pull-ups a day. This is day 6 or 7 of 100 pull-ups a day. I have on here cycle 100 miles in a day. I just think that would be cool. For whatever reason, 10 is just a numerically attractive number, as is 100. I want to complete my half Ironman on July 20th in Sandusky. A side quest to complete it in under 7 hours. So if I do 50 minutes on the swim, 4 hours on the bike, and 2 hours on the run, that would be under 7 hours. So that's a side quest, but really the focus is just finish. But if I can get under 7, I think I'll be extra happy. So my fourth goal is join the 1,000 pound club. Bench, squat, deadlift. When I maxed out the most recent time, I benched 265, squat 315, and deadlift 365, which is a total of 600, 880, 945. So that's one where I think I'm close. And again, it's just an attractive number, the 1,000. I'd like to join that club. The next goals I have, bear crawl mile. I think that'd be an interesting YouTube video and definitely a mental challenge. I do a lot of challenges that end up being harder than I think. That is one that I think is going to be very, very hard, and it's actually going to turn out extremely hard. This one will be a tough one as well. 260 pound farmers carry mile. Truett Haynes did this. I'm not sure his time, but I'd like to also do that because Truett Haynes is a cool dude. So I would also want to do that because he did it and for no other reason. All right, I'd like to run a sub 5:30 minute mile. Again, I think these are all goals that are achievable, I think, within a 6-month time frame. I think they are. We'll find out because I ran a 5:52 in my 1 mile time trial. So I don't think I'm not saying I want to run a 5-minute mile in the next 6 months. I don't think that's a feasible goal. I do want to try to do under 5:30, so I got to shave off 22 seconds. Considering it was like 81 degrees that day, I think that's doable. I got to get faster. I got to work on my form a bit better. Now I'm going to have to dig deep to get under that 5:30 mark. This next one is really, really cool, something I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is perform a backflip. When you think of really, really cool, you probably think backflips. I'd like to be really, really cool and do a backflip. Now I'm 26 years old and I want to do a backflip, and you're not stopping me. But I will need help. I will need coaching on that one for sure. I'd like to dunk. I didn't put that on here. I'm going to put that on here now. I'd like to dunk. All right, and finally, I'd like to do 5,000 pull-ups in a day. That's kind of the big one. It's kind of the big fish that I want to catch. Side quests along the way, 1,000 pull-ups in a day, 2,000 pull-ups in a day, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 pull-ups in a day. Just a note, they do not need to be achieved separately, so I don't have to do it 5 times. If I can just do 5,000 pull-ups in a day, that would achieve all 5 of those levels. I don't necessarily want to go all the way to 10,000. I think that's probably extremely, extremely difficult, as will 5,000 will probably be very, very difficult. But I think it's feasible along with all these other goals. Keep saying feasible, and people watching might be saying none of this is feasible, but stop me. Okay? Stop me. Next year, a couple goals. I want to do a 30-day cold plunge. I hate cold water. I need to get over that. So I want to do 30 days in a row. I want to do a full Ironman next summer. And I want to bike across Michigan. I will probably have more 2026 fitness goals after achieving all of these 2025 fitness goals. And then finally, I know this isn't a vlog. I said I was going to do 81 days of vlogging, and usually I commit to what I say I'm going to do, and I do it. But it just hasn't turned out the way. It's turned out to be a video every day, but not necessarily a vlog. So I apologize if you liked vlogs, but I'm just going to make a video every day. Yeah, anyway. Finally, I'm going to end off with some Q&A that no one asked for. So first up, why are you training like a hybrid athlete? So I never really liked to run. To me, run was always just part of sports. It wasn't something I took pleasure in within sports. And I was never attracted to running sports until I ran my marathons. And they were extremely tough. And I realized that day in and day out running takes a mental fortitude. And it's a great way to build up mental fortitude within yourself. And so that's kind of why I took up running, but the variety of training has kept me entertained this summer, to say the least. Calling yourself a hybrid athlete is dumb. That's not a question. But yes, I recently listened to a podcast from Nick Bare and somebody else just talking about how being a hybrid athlete is basically just like general fitness. And while they may be right, general fitness could just be lifting weights in the morning and running at night, but hybrid athlete sounds way cooler. So I'm just going to keep calling myself that, and stop me. Stop me. That's what I thought. Final question, what are you going to do after the half Ironman? What am I going to do after the half Ironman? Well, next summer I'd like to do the full Ironman, and I think just having done an Ironman in your life is a tremendous accomplishment. It's something I want to have done. It's something I want to have been through to gain an experience under my belt, specifically a very tough experience that I may be able to relate to other people that have completed that. Yeah, I'd like to do that along with the rest of the fitness goals that I just talked about. So that's what I'm going to do after I do my half Ironman. But for me, just the way I look at things, I try to remind myself of Viktor Frankl's message in Man's Search for Meaning is it's important to create in life, it's important to experience in life, and it's important to suffer in life. Those 3 things are of tremendous importance, and I am a man that's on a quest for experiences, as well as creating things like videos, as well as suffering to find out, who I really am. Yeah, I just think you get exposed a lot. You get humbled in a lot of ways when you challenge yourself, whether it be on the mats, whether it be running, whether it be in the gym lifting weights. You get exposed or you get humbled and you suffer, and I think that's an important part of life because you're going to suffer in other ways, so it almost prepares you for those other harder times that you go through in your life. I'm not too much into like fancy things. Like, you can have the fancy house, you can have the fancy suit. Give me the Iron Man. Yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to do hard things because hard things shape you. And do you want to get shaped into a statue like Hercules, or do you want to get shaped into a Jell-O furball that sits on the couch eating Cheetos in their underwear and is afraid of the sunlight? All that being said, that's what I'm trying to achieve. Those are the fitness goals I'm chasing right now. I'm planning to share the journey, so stay tuned. And of course, stay classy, Detroit.